Hey everyone, my name is Osama. I'm a nuclear engineer in training. I'll be discussing one of my favorite topics that changed my life, absolutely. And this is called habit, all right? The power of habits is underestimated, okay? And habits are feedback loops, actions that you do day to day or often, which pretty much mold your identity. They define who you are. Are you someone that lies? Are you someone that eats healthy food? Habits are like voting. It's pretty much democracy to the utmost. Every time you do an action, you're pretty much voting for who you want to become. Do you want to be a liar? Do you want to be someone that's healthy? Do you want to be someone that's fit? Do you want to be someone that's giving or selfish? Habits define who you are, and it's a slow progression as to who you become. Why is habit formation important? The formation of habits are important because your conscious mind is actually the mind that's aware of what's happening, is the bottleneck of the brain. Your unconscious mind has a lot more power over you than you think as compared to the conscious mind. For example, your reptilian brain, which is the brain that controls movement, it controls strong desires like food, sex. That brain has a huge grasp over you and your life. It may cause you to develop bad habits. To form good habits or to break bad habits is field of study which I love, okay? And to start off, there are 4 laws to change a behavior. So if you're looking at, let's start off with building good habits, all right? Good habits like diet, exercise, reading, being an honest person, just any good thing that you can imagine is something that needs to be built over time. And there are 4 laws to building good habits. How can I make it obvious? For example, if you don't want to eat chocolate, cookies, chips, don't have it in your environment. Make it obvious. Put salad, meat, fresh vegetables, pack them in your refrigerator and just don't buy those chocolates, right? Like when I'm going grocery shopping, I don't even peek at the chocolate aisle because I know I'll be tempted. Chips and cookies and all these delicious things down there. So make it obvious. Or if you want to read, have a book right on your table, right? So make that book obvious. Like, okay, that book is right there. I'm going to read it right when I go to bed. Number 2 is how can I make it attractive? All right, making something attractive is not as easy as you think. If you want to eat a salad, why don't you add a little bit of dressing, right? Add a little bit of dressing, add a little bit of salt to your food, okay? In that way, you increase your chances of having that positive behavior. For example, if you want to go to the gym, make it attractive. Go with a friend, it becomes more attractive. Or put on that nice song, put on music that livens you up, that gets you into that mood of working out. Put on your favorite song. So whenever you think of your favorite song, you think of gym, okay? Number 3 is how can I make it easy? It's not easy to develop a good habit or a good behavior, okay? But think of ways to simplify things. For example, set something in your schedule. If you want to read on your daily commute, okay? Say you take the bus every single day to work, okay, or to school, and you want to utilize that time to read instead of listening to music. The way you can make it easier is instead of having a bulky book to carry around, is get yourself a Kindle, right? It's a nice slim device that you can just put into your backpack. Open that up. It makes it convenient, easy. Your bag isn't going to be bulged up. You don't have to worry about people looking at that cover of that book, getting attention from unknown areas. And the last point is how can I make it satisfying? When you complete the activity, you should have almost like a breath of fresh air. It becomes satisfying. Like, okay, this made my day. It's very difficult to set up a habit for you to make it satisfying. One way in which you can do it is after you go to the gym, why don't you treat yourself? Why don't you, when you're first starting off, why don't you go out for lunch with your friend? And at the end of that hard workout, you have made it satisfying, okay? Or pick a brand of protein which is very delicious, and after you work out, that's a bit of a treat for you. That protein bar, right? That expensive protein bar, you spent a lot of money on it, but hey, you made that workout satisfying, because when you finished, it satisfies you. So to understand a habit and really start putting fertilizer in that plant, maintaining it, growing it, you need to follow those 4 laws of habit development. And those 4 laws are: how can I make it obvious? How can I make it attractive? How can I make it easy? And how can I make it satisfying? Those are the 4 laws. Habits are like plants. When you plant a seed, that's your intention for starting the habit. Like Osama, by the end of this year, I'm gonna be at this weight. I'm gonna be at 160, 170 pounds. All right? That seed is planted. You need to follow those 4 laws in order to water that plant. Put fertilizer in that plant, and that plant, after 10 days, 15 days, 16 days, will sprout out and become a little leaf. All right? And after 100 days, 200 days of doing that habit, it becomes a small stem, okay, a small flower. And after 1,000, after 1,500, that's when it starts, the trees, the plant's trunk, right, starts becoming thicker. It starts becoming a stronger plant. The wind won't blow it over, right? It may need some support, some pegs in the beginning, so the tree won't fall over. The wind won't let it fall over. And after when you look at that tree, you're like, okay, that's my apple tree. It's so strong, it's in the ground, and nothing can topple it over unless there's a huge hurricane or a storm, right? So similarly, your habits, those weather patterns, are kind of like those bad days, sickness, right? Or stress in your environment, stress from work, stress from family, stress from home, right? So those things are kind of like bad days. All right, but once the habit is established, it's routine, it's in your system, it's become a part of you, and that's who you are, right? And I feel like we have this large garden. We have this garden, and we're trying to maintain these habits, each one at a time. We're trying to give every single day, that 24 hours that we have is dedicated and devoted to serving each habit, each plant, each tree. We are pretty much at all different levels. Every human is at a different level. And what we can do is we can really help each other by telling each other how we grew our tree, how we grew our plant. And each plant and each tree has different methods, different ways in which we can grow it to the best of our abilities. That's a bit on habits and how habits are developed in life. Habit development has pretty much changed my entire outlook on my life, because now I know that the secret to becoming a better person, to having a more enriched and fulfilling life, is to have good habits and ways to break down your bad habits. So there my video is. Those are the 4 laws of positive habit development. Make it satisfying, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.